Alright, so today we're going to be carrying on with kind of a look back at the older zombies maps leading up to the more modern zombies maps. I did do this a long time ago, or started doing it a while ago, and I just kind of stopped because other things came out and stuff like that. So we're going to carry on with it today and keep carrying on with it for the foreseeable future. I do want to bring more zombies content to the channel, and I'm going to start by carrying on with where I left off. So we're looking at Buried today. So Buried was the third DLC map for Black Ops 2 back in the day. It added a lot to the game, it added a lot of new things. Some things stuck, some things didn't really stick. From what I remember, from speaking to people about the map recently, definitely an easier map. It has a very notorious high round strategy, which is just ridiculous. And it's got some pretty cool things that are unique to the map as well. So we're going to cover all of that today. As a side note, the footage is not my own. I had to really try and find something to use to show the map because I have no way of actually like recording footage of the map myself. So I did find a cool channel that does these run throughs of the maps, just no commentary, just running through the map, just to kind of show it off. So I'm gonna leave a link to that channel in the description. Go check the guy out, give him some love. But yeah, let's talk about Buried. Right, so one of the main things you'll probably see from the footage in Buried is the addition of the Raygun Mark II. This was, I believe, the map that introduced the Raygun Mark II, and it still kind of appears every now and again. Not so much in the modern games, but after Black Ops 2, it was definitely in Black Ops 3. And it's a good gun. I definitely think it was good. I don't think it's as kind of memorable or nostalgic, I guess, as the original Raygun, but it's definitely still a good weapon, and it's obviously the second of 3 different variants of the Raygun, unless you count the one from Alpha Omega, which we'll get to at some point. But yeah, it was pretty cool to introduce it there. Again, it's quite good, and I believe, if I remember rightly, once they added it to Buried, it got added to like every map in Black Ops 2, as long as you had the DLC that it came from. I think that's how it worked back in the day. Another addition that came with Buried is a perk. Now, Black Ops 2, every single map in Black Ops 2, apart from Origins, I think, added a perk that was unique to that map. So you had Transit, that added Tombstone, so obviously when you die, you can go find your, like, gravestone, it will give you some of your stuff back. Dire Eyes had Who's Who. Who's Who was really bad. I don't think anyone really liked Who's Who. From what I remember, if you went down, you could turn into a ghost, and if you got back to your body, you could revive yourself, but if you died as the ghost, or you didn't get to your body in time, you just die anyway. I don't think anyone really kind of liked that perk. It was kind of unnecessary. And then in Mob of the Dead, they added Electric Cherry. Now, I think that is the one of all the ones they added with Black Ops 2 that stuck around longer. In fact, it's even present in the newest release. It's in Black Ops 6 as an augment upgrade for something in the game, and the effect is still there where you reload, and there's like an electric kind of shock around you that stuns or damages enemies. And of course, Buried added Vulture. Again, this perk didn't ever come back, and I really do think it was pointless, but at the same time it was fine at the time. Essentially what it would allow you to do is see like wall buys and perks and stuff like that through walls. It would also make it so that zombies could occasionally drop points or ammo on the floor when they died. And I think it also did like this little gas cloud, as you can see in the background, where you kill stuff and there'd be like a poison cloud that would damage enemies in it. But it wasn't anything crazy, it wasn't anything too strong. It was fine. All the perks they added, probably apart from Who's Who, were fine. Like, they weren't crazy. I think out of all the games, off the top of my head, the one game that added a perk to it that was just ridiculous was probably Black Ops 3 with Widow's Wine, because that perk is just mental. And they knew it because it wasn't on every map in the game. It was just crazy. But yeah, Black Ops 2's perks that they added were just kind of average at best. Now, there is a wonder weapon unique to the map. This footage unfortunately doesn't show it, but it's called the Paralyzer, I believe. So what it did was essentially slow zombies in front of you until it eventually killed them. It wasn't quick at doing so, especially like in later rounds, but we'll talk about the later round notorious method in a moment. But also what it allowed you to do was kind of like jump up to accessible areas quickly. You kind of like look at the ground, shoot the Paralyzer, and it would kind of lift you up into the air, and you could jump up to high ground, which was pretty cool. Another thing you could do was get the time bombs. The time bombs were a 1 stack, so you can only have 1 at a time, but they were pretty good. They did some pretty crazy things, so if you used them at the right time, you could pretty much open all the doors for free using like the bank, where you kind of like, you withdraw your points, and if you like blitzed all the doors, or as many doors as you could before activating the time bomb, you could kind of open everything up, and then use the time bomb, and it would kind of like go back to the point where you'd not taken your points out. Pretty cool. Don't know if that was legit or not, but that was definitely something that people did. You could also use it to revive people. If they went down, you could throw the bomb down, do it, and it would take them back just before they died, and it would count as like a self-res, which was pretty cool. It had a lot of unique things it did, and it didn't come back, but it was, again, pretty fun to use. Okay, a couple more things on the map that are unique to the map is the addition of a helpful NPC. I believe his name was Arthur, and he was like this big, kind of giant looking guy in like overalls and stuff like that. You probably know what I'm talking about. And you could essentially feed him like sweets or beer around the map, and he could do stuff like he could open up certain pathways that were blocked by debris. He could hit the box, I believe, as well. I don't actually remember what that did, but he could hit the box. He could do all kinds of different things on the map, and I believe he was quite involved in the Easter egg. I think you need to do certain things with him to get the Easter egg going. I think you had to send him off as well to get certain parts for certain buildables, which we'll get to in a moment. But it was pretty cool. You know, he was not in the way, he didn't get annoying, and it was just useful to have him around. I quite liked that. This was kind of like the first or very early days of them introducing NPCs to the maps. Obviously, nowadays, if you look back at some maps, there's quite a few that have like a helpful AI on them. Civil Protector from Shadows of Evil, Klaus from Mordertonen in Cold War, just off the top of my head, they're the two I can think of. And then finally, the big thing with the map, and it's not some direct footage I can use of it, but it's like the ghost house. So you had these ghost women that would fight you if you went through the house, and each time they hit you, you lose points. So it was kind of getting through the house without being hit as much as possible. I believe if you got through the house without being hit, you did get a free perk or something similar to that. Again, it's been so long, I don't 100% remember, but I'm sure you did get something. And that was pretty cool. But yeah, the map has some unique features for sure. But the one thing this map did have, and you can probably see it from the gameplay footage, is the best camping spot for high rounds you'd ever see. Now, this isn't being done with like the proper strat. This is more of like a chilled gameplay. But there was a method to this, and it was crazy. Essentially, from what I remember, there's a buildable workbench, I think, right above you in this hallway. And if you build the turbine, which is like the power system, and then the trample steam, I believe, and you set it up in that corridor, nothing can really get to you, and the rounds go by so quickly. You can constantly like refresh these buildables as well. Just go like make another one or pick up another one and reset it. It's very safe, it's very quick, and a lot of people use that strat. It's just a good strat to use, and I remember doing it a couple times in Buried and had an absolute blast with it. And it's a very popular method for high rounds on this map. But that's pretty much going to do it. I'm not going to cover the Easter eggs in these videos because they're so in depth and they take more time. But I do want to go back and do them at some point, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, these videos are mainly to kind of go over the maps themselves, what they did that was different, what they added that was new, and just kind of give some kind of background to them if people haven't played them before, or just maybe as a nostalgic trip. But yeah, that's Buried. Mob of the Dead is next, one of my personal favourite maps. And then it's Origins, that Black Ops 2 is done. And then it is technically Advanced Warfare with Exo Zombies, but Black Ops 3 is kind of my next plan. I may cover Exo Zombies and Extinction at some point, but I do kind of want to go over like Black Ops 3 next because there's so many maps in that game anyway. And I will probably get around to Extinction and Exo Zombies at some point. If anyone wants to see that stuff, do let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more CoD Zombies stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.